Get ready for the most legendary clashes where tempers flare, egos collided, and poker players lost their minds. From heated arguments to full-blown meltdowns, we're recapping the most memorable fights ever witnessed in the poker world. Strap in, because when poker players go to war with each other, they play for keeps. Pick any stakes heads up. When big poker egos clash, there are sure to be fireworks. In our first clip, Tom Dwan is playing a heads-up championship against Phil Hellmuth. Phil, never one to shy away from a little table talk, goes on one of his usual tirades. And this time, Tom isn't going to just sit there and be insulted. The tension builds, and you can feel the electricity in the air as the players are all in before the flop.
Here comes the flop. No more
An early elimination hand and the flop. Deuce, king, 7 with a couple of spades.
No help for Tom.
So far, so good for Phil Hellmuth.
Phil has the lone spade in their hand and the best hand with the aces.
And the turn.
And it's a 10!
Huge suck out.
It's not over yet, man.
Tom definitely enjoys seeing the 10 on the turn, but realizes the hand is never over until it's over.
Or any spade but the king.
It's not looking good, though.
Here is the river.
3 of spades?
The river's a 9 of diamonds, and Tom Dwan has eliminated Phil Hellmuth.
When you look up bad beat in the dictionary, that's what you'll find.
At this point in his poker career, Tom has clearly had enough of Phil acting like the poker brat.
They're counting the chips just to make it official.
Son, I would tell you this much, son. I would never have put more 3,000 with 2 10s before.
Oh, here we go.
I was gonna say good game, sorry for the suck out, but
The frustration is evident on Dwan's face as he shrugs and rolls his eyes.
when you freeze
Oh,
it that
telling
many,
the
it makes me not
truth, man.
wanna.
Here, take 10,000 each.
Phil,
and I
that's
think
why you lose money online. Like,
You played
sorry,
the hand
nice
bad,
hand.
that's the truth. You
Okay,
put in
pick your
20,000 with
stakes,
2
heads
10s.
pick your stakes heads up. I've said it a million times.
Tom repeats, pick your stakes heads up, indicating he will gamble with Phil for any amount of money. He is clearly visually agitated by Phil's antics. Tom insists Phil put his money where his mouth is, challenging him to back up his trash talk. The whole scene is a little awkward, to say the least. He doesn't deserve your applause. All of our battles today are fueled by emotion and anger, but this next one takes things to a whole new level of cruelty. Tony G, known for his aggressive table talk, crosses a line in this clip when his trash talking goes too far. The taunts become personal, and what starts as typical banter quickly spirals into something much more cutting. It's a moment that leaves the table and the audience stunned.
Seeing those 3 guys on one side of the table and Tony G on the other.
I call. I want to play with him. I got a weak hand, though. I'm still calling if you raise, unless you go all in. I might still call if you go all in. How
And
much
Ralph
have you
Perry
got?
might raise here. He's got King Jack offsuit.
How much more? 80 more? I'm calling.
Tony G's telling Ralph Perry how much to raise.
How much more do you want to make it? Just tell me. Can you put the clock? What is this?
Things are heating up quickly, and Tony G isn't going to back down.
Do you seriously call for the clock here? It's gotten out of fun and games here. And Ralph Perry's going to raise 120,000.
120 more. How much more has he got? I'm all in. All in. You wanna do this? Do this properly. Yeah. What do you think I am? I'm here to give my chips away to you.
Now, in this instance, Tony G's playing brilliantly.
Tony makes a good play and gets the player to call all in with king high. We've seen plenty of harsh words exchanged at the poker table, but things are about to get much more personal.
Which school have you been to?
How close is those?
Ralph
What is
Perry
this?
looks like Mike Tyson after Buster Douglas got through with him. Tony G could single-handedly reignite the Cold War.
But you colored like a baby. Up and away. Up and away. Come on. On your bike. On your bike.
Despite the assault, Ralph Perry taking the high road.
He's in shock.
Now, he doesn't deserve any applause.
The remark, "Don't applaud, he doesn't deserve it," takes things to a whole new level of cruelty. The player has already been knocked out and is walking away defeated, making this heckle feel not only unnecessary, but downright mean-spirited. At this point, there's no psychological edge to be gained. It's not about strategy anymore. It's just a cold insult. In poker or any sport, there's a difference between competition and cruelty. Somebody call the floor. There are very few poker fights that are as public or as enjoyable to watch as when Jamie Gold faced off against Eric Molina. In our next clip, their childish fight is on full display. Molina, known for his brash attitude, pushes Gold's buttons from the start, leading to a heated exchange of words.
Gold is hooked up in a hand with smack-talking leader Eric Molina. It is Gold's turn to act.
300.
And he is going to raise to 300,000 after the turn. Back to Molina now.
I raise. Got a raise is coming up.
You raised me 200?
Yes.
And a re-raise from Eric Molina.
Raise.
Might as well put it all in.
Might as well.
You have that much left.
I'm on. All in.
There you go.
Jamie should be careful what he wished for.
Big re-raise back to Gold. Molina flips his all-in button, ends up in front of Jamie Gold, and it's fired back.
Hey, don't be an ass.
Excuse me?
Asses in glass houses shouldn't throw
All
chips.
in.
Just because you're losing, that's fun.
I'm losing. Who's sitting there with no chips?
Losing this hand, sir. Call me then.
You want to make a side bet who lasts longer in the tournament?
Stop. Sure.
Yeah? How much?
How about you get in this hand right now?
How much?
Gold, trying to maintain his composure, can't help but get sucked into the drama as these two players trade insults. The intensity at the table is off the charts, making it one of the most entertaining rivalries in World Series of Poker history.
Call me then.
Molina testing the patience of chip leader Jamie Gold.
You're gonna fold. Stop wasting time, so. You just got caught, so why don't you just hurry up? That's at 70,000.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I know you did.
Gold will fold. And Molina takes the pot.
I'll see you at the end. I mean, sorry, no, I won't.
Jamie Gold's frustration was understandable, but he resorted to taunts and theatrics.
I'll be honest with you, Lon. I don't like walking into a card room when this is what I see and hear. I wish they would take it outside to like Antarctica.
Well, thanks for your 200,000, Miles.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Well, the hand is over, but these two just will not let it go. The jousting continues.
Excuse me, penalty.
I did not say that.
No, thank you. Penalty.
Floor. I did not.
Thank you.
I did not complete that word. First of all, floor, I did not. Camera?
Bye.
No, I didn't complete the word.
He said the F word.
No, I did not.
Take a walk.
Yes.
Bye.
That's wrong.
Bye.
Now, this would not be the first time that Molina would be sent off with a penalty.
What's that, shadow puppets?
6 minutes on the clock. You can come back in. Oh, cool.
That is just.
Well, with a relatively young field here at the main event,
Thanks for your chips, though. That was
this
great.
type of juvenile behavior was bound to crop up under the pressure of the millions of dollars that they are playing for, but that still is no excuse for the schoolroom antics.
Molina, of course, didn't back down, escalating the situation with his own jabs and making the confrontation even more cringeworthy. The floor had to intervene, but by then the damage was done. From tossing the all-in chip at each other to calling the floor and demanding Molina be penalized while chanting "bye," this one remains one of the most childish displays of any poker fight we've seen. Once, twice, 5 times an idiot. There's an old saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. But what if a player calls you an idiot 5 times at a poker table? Next up, we have Phil Hellmuth doing just that in the World Series of Poker main event.
You have aces?
I think Chino had ace-king, too, in that hand.
Chino did, you're right.
You might have aces. This is sick.
Y'all got a bet here?
Nah, you don't have aces. I think you have ace-queen.
Phil giving Dragomir too much credit.
A re-raise from Phil to 255,000 with ace-king.
75 more.
Please, I pray to God he folds, Mike. Everybody else in the world wants you to move in with this hand. I'm praying you fold. Honey!
Yes, dear.
I hope he doesn't have aces. I'm going to show this hand afterwards.
Dragomir does not have aces. He has 10-4.
Don't worry, I'm going to show you.
Dragomir's going to call.
God.
I guess Dragomir wants to mix it up with a
175.
poker brat, and he's got his lucky 10-4.
Hellmuth, never one to hold back his emotions, unleashes his trademark rant on a fellow player after a hand doesn't go his way. The insults fly as Phil doubles down on his idiot accusation, drawing gasps and laughs from the table. It's classic Hellmuth at his finest, tilting while trying to assert dominance, creating yet another memorable moment in poker history.
Ace-King against 10-4. Classic matchup. And there is a 10 in there. Dragomir takes the lead with a pair of 10s.
Check.
Dragomir with top pair.
You heard Hellmuth check. Now Dragomir.
Here we go, Mike. I can't believe.
So far, this hand is not going well for Phil. He seems to understand this as he checks.
I can't believe this. They dealt me aces versus kings again right here. This is so sick.
Dragomir bets 300,000.
This idiot guy over here.
That was uncalled for.
I don't. You know what, Mike? I think he called a re-raise with ace queen or something. He's just a.
Phil could just fold his hand and move on, but that's not quite his style. Then he really loses it after his opponent shows him his hand. 10-4 off suit.
Goes the ace-king.
He put in like only 150. Mike, you tell him what
Show him the 3-8 offsuit or something. 10-4, baby.
Phil is stunned.
That was worth the price of admission.
And everybody gangs up on Phil.
Phil had it coming.
That's his hand all day, baby. That's his hand. That's his hand. Three times.
He re-raised Chino with it. He called me with it. He called Phil with it.
This is how I lose my money to some idiot.
I show ace king and fold.
He's now said idiot 2 times too many.
I'm going to tell you something, buddy. You want to hear what I have to say? This is just.
No, after you learn some manners, yes.
Forget it. Forget it.
Before that, whatever.
Well done, Christian.
Buddy, you're an idiot, is what you are.
That's 3 times.
This is the state of poker.
But I'm an idiot with a stack. you don't have a stack. Whatever.
Someone puts in $400,000 with 10-4 and the crowd celebrates like it's a good play. This is the state of poker. The guy is the worst player in history, and they're cheering.
That's a lot of times to be called an idiot on TV. But it wouldn't be an epic poker fight if the clip ended there. Even Phil's colleagues tell him he's gone too far this time. In poker, you can never tap the glass and scare the fish. But Hellmuth, being Hellmuth, crosses that line without hesitation. Besides being a real jerk, he commits the cardinal sin, potentially driving away weaker players who are crucial to the game. His ego gets the best of him, and the damage is done. Not just to his table image, but to the overall vibe of the game. Did Phil Hellmuth cross a line? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Mattisau Meltdown. This next clip is less of a poker fight and more of a man's battle against himself. Mike Mattisau, a seasoned pro with years of experience, has one of the most embarrassing public meltdowns in the 2004 World Series of Poker main event.
Turn card,
Blank,
7 of hearts.
Blank, deuce.
And
Deuce.
now on the river,
Deuce.
only a queen
Deuce.
would knock Mattisau out of the main event.
It is a queen.
For someone with his reputation, this emotional collapse is not just surprising, it's downright humiliating. As the cameras roll and the world watches, a pro who's supposed to have nerves of steel ends up showing just how fragile even the best can be under pressure.
Ed Foster has knocked Mattisau out of this tournament.
Why do I get deserveless?
A catastrophic hit to Mike Mattisau, who never shies away from showing his emotions.
Mattisau's emotions take over, and instead of his usual outbursts, he seems to start crying. It's a sobering moment as he puts his head in his hands, visually crushed by the loss. The crowd watches in stunned silence as the mouth, known for his tough persona, reveals a softer side, making this one of the most unforgettable exits in World Series of Poker history. Airball. Sometimes it's just not your day. And in the next clip, we see exactly that as Tony G faces off against Nick Airball at the Hustler Casino Live. This battle is about more than just chips. It's a showdown between two larger-than-life personalities. As Tony G tries to impose his will on the table, Nick Airball counters and relentlessly needles. Certainly a tactic Tony G is accustomed to.
Airball's gonna raise it up.
Like this kid. Now there's some food.
Some deep stack poker here, folks. Tony G makes the call. Queens gets out of the way, and we're at 465,000.
Your dream come true.
The needling and heckling are all part of the game for these two, but things are about to get much more intense.
And the turn's a 6! And Nick Airball with the stone cold nuts. It's gonna go 225 here.
Tony seems to sense that he could be beat. He certainly thinks about Nick Airball's bet for some time.
We've seen Tony G make some huge laydowns in this game the last couple days. And he lays it down.
Fucking stinks.
Wow.
Impressively, Tony G throws away aces, but he's definitely tilted.
And of course, Airball has to
Folded
show.
aces. Stinks. That's like a setup hand. That's like unbelievable. That's just not normal. I folded aces. That's like sick. Okay. I quit. I pay.
Tony says he's done, which to be fair is perfectly normal in a cash game. However, this is a live stream, and it doesn't take long for the insults to start flying.
I quit. It's okay. I quit. I pay. On your bike! On your bike, Tony! You and your...
Tony G walks away from the table after the brutal hand, and Nick Airball wastes no time rubbing salt in the wound with Tony's signature catchphrase, "Get on your bike!"
Your aces! Back to Santa Monica!
Mind games are just as important as the cards you hold. It's the kind of poker clash that keeps audiences tuning in. You aren't better than Phil Ivey at anything. We've all heard of tough love, but in our next clip, Daniel Negreanu takes it to a whole new level as he puts Phil Hellmuth firmly in his place. Known for his emotional outbursts, Hellmuth is no stranger to confrontations at the poker table, but this time he's met his match with Negreanu's cool and straightforward approach.
Like, well, whoever wins the most money, then I just went out and won all this money. And they're like, oh yeah, but now you're not playing against the best to win the money. Like, I mean, Daniel's like such a politician. He changes the goalposts and changes and changes and changes. And
I think you're going to be up against that forever, Phil.
Yep, agree.
5.
I didn't expect it from Daniel.
It's lonely at the top, isn't it?
Didn't expect it from Daniel, though.
Negreanu delivers a verbal lesson, keeping his composure while suddenly exposing the poker brat's ego. It's an expert display of how to put someone on tilt and win with psychological warfare.
You want me to tell you I think you're better than Phil Ivey at something? What? What do I think you're better than Phil Ivey at? Like, name it. I don't know. What am I supposed to give you here?
I'm not better.
Bingo.
Promoting yourself.
I'm not better at Texas Hold'em than Phil Ivey?
No, you're not better at Texas Hold'em than Phil Ivey.
You want to bet on what he would say? 'Cause
Oh,
I already
he would-
hear...
Ouch! Daniel Negreanu doesn't hold back as he cuts Phil Hellmuth down to size, delivering a harsh but brutally honest critique. Hellmuth, Known for boasting about his poker accomplishments and claiming he might be the greatest of all time, starts his usual self-praise when Negreanu decides he's heard this speech one too many times.
I already know what Phil would say. He's like, oh no, Phil Hellmuth's the best, because he doesn't care like you do, right?
He doesn't care.
He's not going to say something like to, boost his ego or whatever. He doesn't give a what people think, really, in that regard.
So his opinion doesn't matter.
Well, his opinion on who's better, he's going to say you because he wants action. Okay, he's a hustler, old school.
You hit
know
it.
what I'm saying?
You hit it.
Ivy.
You have to love it when poker pros speculate on what other poker pros think. Poker egos can be just as fragile as bankrolls, and Negreanu isn't afraid to dish out some tough reality when the poker brat gets a little too full of himself. Fight fire with fire. Over the years, many players have tried to give Phil Hellmuth a taste of his own medicine, firing back at the poker brat in an attempt to beat him at his signature mind games. However, none have gone as far as Eric Persson in our next clip.
We're at this table because of me, Phil.
What are you talking about?
This beat your table.
Phil has an Achilles heel, and it's his ego. He's going in on it.
Queen on the river.
Drills 3 5s, drawing to a 5. That's what I love about Phil. He remembers half the hands.
Oh, I had ace-5 suited. I called it raise. You have some issues with the truth, don't you?
I have no issues with the truth.
From the very start, Persson relentlessly berates Hellmuth, launching a non-stop verbal assault that lasts the entire match. It's not just a few sharp words here and there. Persson is on a mission to break Hellmuth's composure, refusing to let up for even a moment. Persson's plan is to attack Hellmuth's famous ego, and the result is pure poker drama.
8 to call.
You're almost dead, Phil. You're almost broke. You're gonna have to take a stand in a second. I think anything like Queen 8 or higher, you should think about shoving.
Man,
otherwise you're gonna go out
can you
like
just
a
shut
little,
the up?
like a little bitch.
Paul.
Right on brand, Phil calls over the floor for a little star treatment and some protection.
Can I get some protection? Like in a normal tournament, the obnoxious guy they'd give him a penalty.
Listen to Phil. Phil must know what happens to the obnoxious guy.
I'm asking for some protection.
You've got to hand it to Eric here. Phil must know what happens to the obnoxious guy. It's one of the snappiest comebacks in our video today. Now the floor gets to deal with 2 men over 40 not playing so nice.
Starting to get a little out of line.
All right.
Come over, Paul. I'm asked you to come up. Will you please come up? This guy's been completely out of line for like an hour. I'm really getting sick of it. In any other tournament in the planet, I don't have to put up with this bullshit. They just kick the guy out or give him a penalty. He needs to be warned for a penalty because I've had enough of this bullshit. It's just so obnoxious. I don't even want to be here playing this event with a guy like this. It's ridiculous. Bring me a great player or someone like a great businessman who's a nice guy, not this bullshit. He needs to have a warning.
I'm giving him a warning.
He should have a warning.
The relentless taunting escalates with every hand, and Persson seems determined to push Hellmuth to his breaking point. The tension builds steadily, creating an almost unbearable atmosphere at the poker table. Finally, it all culminates in one unforgettable moment when Persson, fed up with Phil's antics, flips him the bird in front of everyone on live TV. It's a brazen act of defiance that leaves the audience in shock. Do you think Eric Persson went too far? Or do you think Phil's antics invite this kind of confrontation? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Big Mouth. Mike Matusow didn't earn the nickname The Mouth for nothing. Known for his non-stop chatter and bold trash talk, Matusow's mouth has often been as much of a weapon as his poker skills. However, in our next clip, we see how his tendency to speak his mind gets him into serious trouble during the 2005 World Series of Poker main event.
I'm right, I'm a chip leader. If I'm wrong, I'm hurting. Mike, you always had faith in your reads, buddy. You always had faith in your reads. Don't let your reads let you down one time this time. Please don't let it be wrong.
If Matusow calls, Raymer's tournament life is at stake here.
230,000, right?
241,000.
How much?
241,000.
Just that? That's it?
If I counted it right.
Told you I was gonna bust you. You came after me, didn't I? Don't let me be wrong, God.
Matisow's constant verbal jabs and outbursts begin to backfire, affecting his own concentration. His inability to rein in his emotions ultimately hurts his chances at a deeper run in one of the biggest poker tournaments of his life.
No diamond, baby. Don't let me get unlucky. One time, baby. Blank on a turn, dealer. Do blank.
Turn card 2 of diamonds, and that gives Greg Raymer the win.
In poker, things happen fast. And just like that, the mouth is drawing dead. Mike immediately goes into self-therapy mode.
I play to win, baby. I play to win. You got to get 26 million in chips. I play to win.
And that rips the heart out of Mike Matisow, not to mention 2/3 of his chips going to Raymer.
You know why I called him before the flop? Because I knew what he had before the flop.
Thank you for busting me, Mike.
But I knew he had nothing.
Mike Matisow just doesn't know when to quit. Sometimes you should let your game do the talking. Matisow's constant trash talk and emotional outbursts distract him at a critical moment. In the 2005 World Series of Poker main event, this inability to keep his cool severely damaged his chances for a major payout. While Matisow falters, Greg Raymer stays composed and capitalizes on the situation, ultimately going on to win the entire event. It's a clear example of how discipline and focus often outweigh flashy personalities at the highest level of poker. Maury, are you going to give penalties for this or what? In our next clip, Phil Hellmuth fully embraces his poker brat persona and takes it to the extreme. Frustrated by the table chatter, Hellmuth calls a floor, demanding penalties for players, not for discussing the hand, but simply for talking. It's an over-the-top move that showcases Hellmuth's infamous temper and desire to control the game on his terms.
King up for Phil.
Hey, man. Sean, would you please mind this time? Please be quiet.
Yeah.
So 4,000 more, huh?
Please be quiet so I can talk.
Is this the way it's going to be every tournament out here?
It's a classic Hellmuth moment where the drama he creates overshadows the actual poker being played. Of course, Hellmuth refuses to let it go, and the spectacle gets even more unprofessional as Phil calls over the producer to talk about players laughing and talking at the table.
Because, you know, I played poker for 20 years, and never has someone just, like, blatantly talked as much as this when I have a key decision. It's ridiculous.
I haven't said a word, Phil. What are you talking
Maury,
about?
is this the way it's going to be?
Maury Escandani is one of the executive producers of Poker After Dark.
Because you know what? I might not play in another one if it's going to be like this, all right? You understand?
Hellmuth seems determined to enforce his own brand of table etiquette and threatens to not come back to the show.
I'm trying to make a tough decision for all my chips. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go with it, and I've got him talking and everybody's joking and laughing.
People are laughing. It's horrible.
People are having fun.
Well, you think,
it's
you think I'm kidding, huh?
No, I don't think you're kidding.
Good, because I'm not kidding. So what penalties can we put in place so that when a man has a study for all his chips, people can shut up?
Just ask him.
I mean, I'm not upset. I might sound upset. I'm not upset.
Guys, give me a little look, that's all. Just ask me a little look.
I did that.
You gotta love the producer Maury's handling of the situation. What penalties should they get for talking? Maybe if you just asked them nicely, they would stop talking.
They do it.
I said please.
They'll do it.
I mean, I didn't hear the please word, but if you say please, I won't say a word.
No, Maury, I want to know what you have in place for next time.
Gus Hansen chimes in. If you say please, I won't say a word. Just another prime example of Hellmuth making a poker show about him and not poker. Bonus clip. I will take your freaking head off. You've made it to the end of our video, and we've absolutely saved the best for last. Our bonus clip has the most intense poker fight on live TV in poker history. It comes dangerously close to a physical altercation after Prahlad Freeman questions whether or not fellow professional poker player Jeffrey Lisandro threw in his ante.
Trailing badly.
I thought you threw it out, dude. So, you know, I'm not 100%, but they should check it.
Holmes seems uninterested.
Lisandro just focusing on the business at hand. Here we go to the turn card with Molina way ahead. 4 is no help to Jeffrey Lisandro. And Molina once again reaching for a lot of chips. He goes $200,000.
So Molina steps it up and Lissandro steps out.
Molina wins the hand, picks up about 400,000 chips.
I don't want to hold up the game. I saw him throw the ante in. He says he did. You know, I don't necessarily believe him. So, I mean.
Prahlad won't give it up.
So if he threw the ante out, he just gets robbed because he's more bold and says that.
Are you 1,000%?
I'm not 1,000%. I say I saw him throw it in.
If I knew for sure, you think I'm going to rob him for 5,000? You idiot.
It doesn't matter.
You're acting like an idiot.
I'm acting like an idiot, all right?
You didn't even see it.
I don't trust you, sir, okay? I don't trust you.
Prahlad's out of line here saying that Jeffrey robbed him. Those are strong and inappropriate words.
Don't like your conversation, man.
Friedman just hit below the belt, questioning the integrity of Jeff Lissandro.
Jeez, man, that's unbelievable.
All this table talk and bickering leads to one of the most epic moments in poker fight history.
Prahlad Friedman and Jeffrey Lissandro still steaming about missing ante-gate.
Dude, I saw him throw it in. I'm not.
Could you guys please do me a favor and let it go?
I'll let it go. It's done. But I don't like robbing. I don't like that word.
Jeffrey's mad, and I can't blame him.
No, that's a terrible thing to say. Robbing. My God.
The dealer asks the players to just let it go, and Lissandro seems ready to do so. Prahlad, however, wants to get a few final words in.
I've been in poker long enough, man. I know how it is.
Yeah, you guys both please let it go.
Are you going to stop? Are you going to stop playing poker long enough?
John?
Is he going to stop?
Can I talk to you for 1 second? Over here?
It has escalated.
As we've seen in many of our clips today, sometimes you've got to call in the floor to get an adult involved in a poker fight. Somehow this only makes matters worse.
Probably have it on film somewhere. All right.
If it keeps aggravating,
here comes Lissandro.
No, this is
take his head down. It's not even his 5,000 chip. It's not even his chip.
I saw him throw it in.
Three times, you piece of.
Come on. That's what I said.
I'll take your head off, buddy.
Oh, now this incident is beginning to spin out of control.
Right.
Hey, deal.
Last time.
I will take your head off, buddy. That's a direct threat. We are a little surprised Lissandro was able to get away with this one. Luckily, cooler heads do prevail and there isn't a physical altercation, but it definitely serves as a reminder, poker is an emotional game. Thanks for watching, and to stay up to date with the latest poker controversies, legendary stories, and biggest fails, make sure to like and subscribe.